Hi there, and welcome to the sixth lesson of the new Intuitive You course, Infinite Intelligence. Now, as always, I want to start you off with a quote relating to this lesson. I know this world is ruled by infinite intelligence. Everything that surrounds us, everything that exists, prove that there are infinite laws behind it. There can be no denying this fact. It is mathematical in its precision. By Thomas Edison. What a quote, am I right? This is quite a long quote, but it does illustrate what I want to try to say to you with this lesson precisely. When I talk about infinite intelligence, what do you think that I mean? To me, it can be seen as two things, and those two things are actually the same. Because you have infinite intelligence, and then you have inner infinite intelligence, or I. That is a complete coincidence. I did not plan that at all. But those two things exist, and those two things are the same. There is infinite intelligence all around us. There is a whole quantum field of energy called the collective consciousness, which you cannot see. But that is actually the same as your inner infinite intelligence. As the inner infinite intelligence is also the outer infinite intelligence. I mean, your inner infinite intelligence is also the infinite intelligence that surrounds all of us. That is simply because we are all one. We all come from the same source. We are all one being, actually, and we're just unique expressions of that being or that source. So, by infinite intelligence, I also mean your intuition. This course is about finding your intuition. So, the infinite intelligence that hides in all of you, or the inner infinite intelligence, is also the intuition. There are many terms in this course and many things that I say that make it all seem so complicated, but it really is simple because it's all actually just one, and all of this and all it's all the same. Now, why are we out of touch with our infinite intelligence, or our inner infinite intelligence? I'm just gonna say I. Oh, that's funny because you can say I with your eye, I guess. With your eye. Okay, this is getting to with your eye. Kind of hoping that this was lesson 8 now, but it's not. Okay, so why are we out of touch with our inner intelligence? That is because we're always focused on things that are outside of ourselves. And we are taught to focus on things that are outside of ourselves, because we are taught that if we have a problem, we should go see someone to fix that problem. And if we are sick, we go see a doctor. If we have a toothache, we go see a dentist. You name it. We're always putting the focus on outer things. Not only in when seeking help from someone, or seeking help for yourself and getting it for someone. We're also always focused out of the present moment. We're always on our phone. We're consuming media, consuming social media. We're always finding a way to distract ourselves and to distract ourselves from the infinite, or our inner infinite intelligence. And keep practicing this distraction and you will get a life where you are predominantly distracted. It is easy as A, B, C, you know. Now, not only when we are focused on other things we are distracted, but we also stop trusting ourselves and the infinite intelligence. And there's just more to it than your inner infinite intelligence. And I'm saying this as two things because, as I said, we are all one. We come from the same source. So the infinite intelligence is also our inner infinite intelligence. But we can also access the infinite intelligence that is kind of outside but also inside of us. Like it's always this beautiful kind of weird paradox that it's the same but it's not the same, you know? Because here to help us are all of these beings that have also come to Earth to help Earth. This can kind of seem like, oh, you're reaching now, Juliet. If you're not known to the spiritual community, or you don't really know a lot about aliens or whatever, or beings or angels, but there are people who claim that they have help from interdimensional beings or extraterrestrials, you know. We're here, all of us, with a lot of other beings. Now, we are kind of the focus point right now for a lot of beings. On this, you can do your own research. There's a lot of documentaries, or there are a lot of documentaries on Gaia and YouTube about being the center right now of a lot of planets and a lot of things that are happening. We are kind of on the leading edge of creation, which I am sure that I've mentioned before in this course, because we are at a center point surrounded by other planets. If we expand and transcend our consciousness, it will have a really positive effect on a lot of other beings, and they have their karma, and there's just a lot. If you want to do your own research, do your own research. But as I said, as I was saying, we have help from other beings out there. That is also a tip for you if you want to access the infinite intelligence. If you want to maybe have contact with a higher dimensional being, you can. I have had times in my life where I'm sure that I was talking to another being from another dimension. And we're all here. Some of us are here are starseed, right? So you may have you may be a starseed from a different planet, and you can get help from your home planet, But I don't know who you are, so I don't know if that will be true for you. Some people claim they have spoken to archangels, and I think Medical Medium in his book, I forgot the name of the book, but the Medical Medium book. It's a long name, excuse me. He also has contact with this spirit of compassion, and he also has a lot of exercises in his book to lay contact with angels and to ask them for help, for healing. So you have your own inner infinite intelligence, which is also infinite, and you have the infinite intelligence from beings that you can ask for help if you would want to. So as I was saying, we are quite out of touch with our infinite intelligence because we're always focused on things that are outside of us. This really kind of kills the intuition and creates some sort of doubt. Doubt is the direct enemy of the intuition. But I mean, we have all very busy lives, and as I said, we're always taken out of the present moment, which makes us just out of touch with ourselves and our intuition. Now, how can you access this intuition or this infinite inner intelligence? It's basically by becoming silent, which I discussed in a previous lesson. Becoming silent, taking distractions away from yourself and practicing this enough will get you more in touch with your intuition. And I mean, how nice would it be if you would just want to make a decision in your life? You hear your intuition or your infinite intelligence and you make that decision and you change your life. That is the ultimate goal of this course. And if this happened to you while taking this course, please let me know. Send me an email in the support area because I am quite curious if you have had a beautiful experience with that. Now, that is the easiest way to get in touch with your intuition more and to listen to your intuition and the infinite intelligence more that resides in all of you, because we're all cut from the same source, blah, 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 saying the same things over again, I know. I think it is important to remember that the infinite intelligence that is in all of you is also this fire that is in all of you, and that we may have forgotten that we have and that we own. We are so powerful, and as I said before, we are the central point for many different beings right now. We're made out to believe that we are quite unimportant, that we are specks of dust in an infinite universe, and that we are evil human beings. We are not. We have an avatar on this planet right now. That is a human being, yes. But the human being is so much more than that. We actually came here, theories say, we actually came here already perfect. Not the evolution theory. I don't know how much is true about the Charles Darwin stuff, but a lot of theories suggest now that we already came here perfect, as the perfect being. Because we are, if you see photos of aliens and stuff, right, extraterrestrials, they always look kind of weird, right? You have some humanoid aliens, but we are kind of the perfect, made beautiful being, That doesn't matter, but I just wanted to say that. But don't let anyone tell you that you are not worthy and that we're so unimportant to the universe. And most of all, so unimportant to yourself, because guess what? You yourself, you are the universe. You have this fire within you. That's why I made the logo of a phoenix that rises from the ashes and has this fire that is inside of the new intuitive you. You are so powerful. Don't forget that. Like, our thoughts can literally create worlds, which I said in the previous lesson, and I'll tell you why. Thoughts, feelings, I must say feelings, true feelings or energy. Have you ever experienced a true moment of your intuition or your infinite intelligence that is inside of you? And I've had these moments quite often now, but these are kind of the things that manifest directly in my life. So you have this pure kind of feeling that is there. I'm gonna say a silly example. My mom had a pure kind of thought or feeling about wanting new butter knives. So she thought, butter knives, well, I need that. I work in a store with kitchen supplies, but also a lot of different supplies. On the shelf, there were 2 butter knives that just laid there without packaging. They were probably old from a few years ago. And well, my colleague said, these don't have any packaging. Do you want these? So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take them, because otherwise they will be thrown away. And then I came home. I presented the butter knives to my mom, and she was like, oh my god, I think I totally manifested this, because she's kind of new to manifesting and stuff. She was like, I just had a thought today about wanting and needing butter knives, and here they are, butter knives. And that is a silly, small example of you manifesting through thoughts or feelings, better said feelings. I mean, you can achieve so much more than just manifesting 2 butter knives. Butter knives is an easy, and it's a silly example, but the thought that she had, or the feeling, and the feeling translates into a thought, was so pure. She let it go immediately, that the same day she manifested those butter knives through a lot of variables that would have or should have happened in order to get those butter knives to my mom. That is how powerful you are. Either it being butter knives, €1,000,000, you're... Wow. It's kind of emotional for me. As I said, either being €1,000,000 or dollars or yen, butter knives or whatever, there is infinite intelligence and infinite power within you. It's so weird that we're so focused on being finite, whilst we are just creating a predictable future that it's only because we have always identified with that predictable future. There are infinite possibilities that can happen through this infinite intelligence if you only allow this to happen. If you allow yourself to think the thoughts that you want, or to accept the thoughts that you want, to become conscious, to become aware, then everything that you want will fall into place. That is how powerful you are. And I know that it seems so stupid, and it seems so out of reach, maybe, because we live in this 3D world right now where contrast is so mega. I would say it's mega a lot, I guess. Contrast is all around us. We're so negative all of the time, and we're presented with so much negativity, and it's so not us, as positive, pure, positive light beings that we are. It is so it's so frustrating sometimes to have to think positively, and to believe that this all is in us and all outside of us, and that it is us. I get how hard it is, and it is hard. It is really, really hard, but it is also really, really fulfilling and satisfying when you finally get this, that it's all about this feeling, these pure thoughts that come up from the intuition, which you can recognize, by the way, about how they feel. When a negative thought comes up, it feels negative. When a positive thought comes up, it feels positive. But most of us have negative thoughts, or in most of us, negative thoughts pop up. But once you listen to the intuition or the infinite intelligence more, you come to recognize it for yourself. I cannot say how it feels. I can only describe it as this pure feeling that is almost in your heart. I can feel it almost here right now as I'm talking. This kind of rush you feel. And then when it's paired with, well, I want butter knives or I want €1,000,000, it comes up, it goes, and that's it. It's out in the field, ready to manifest it. That's how easy it can come. I can kind of understand that it might be hard to believe that we live in a you know what? Can I really understand that right now? I don't know. For me, it is kind of like normal. To me, the paranormal is normal. I grew up without having my beliefs crushed by my parents about maybe seeing ghosts and stuff, because my mom sees ghosts as well. We both kind of describe ourselves as witches, and we did tarot cards when I was younger, and I've always kind of been in that world. So I never had any limiting beliefs about seeing energy. So I see energy right now, and I see quite a lot of it. So to me, it is easy to accept these facts than they would for a person that just doesn't or isn't in this world. But I want to remind you of something in the form of a quote that seeing is not believing, it is only seeing, by George MacDonald. Yeah, we forget that sometimes believing is seeing. We perceive what we believe. We perceive what we focus our attention on. And I'm not saying that I'm special when I see energy and stuff and blah, blah, blah. I just never stop believing. Don't stop, believing. No, but I just never stop believing in that stuff. So for me, it just comes easier to me. But what I do want to say to you is that there is this infinite intelligence everywhere. There is an inner infinite intelligence inside of you. And it's also called the intuition. It is always there for you. It always wants to help you. It's here to guide you further on your journey. And it will never leave you. No matter how lonely, how depressed, how anxious, how unworthy you feel, the core, inner, most deepest, that soul thing that what's inside of you or who you truly are will always be there for you and is full of love and full of infinite intelligence. Now, the next lesson is going to be really important because this is an obstacle that most people face nowadays. It is being beaten down by the opinions of others. So, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next lesson.